Good evening. Good evening. I know it's kind of late on the East Coast, but we're out here on the West Coast right now. We're doing a little pre Super Bowl event. And the reason why I wanted to come and speak today about a pre Super Bowl event because I had the honor and opportunity last week when the NFL hosted its Pro Bowl here in Las Vegas, Nevada, to speak at an event that was put on by the NFL Alumni Association and had over 250 young people who attended a 3 day camp. And I had an opportunity to share with them. But the one profound thing that I found in that whole conversation with them was that as I explained to them the journey and the numbers, many of them and many of the parents were amazed at the amount of numbers that of individuals who are participating. And I thought, why is that? But because we're incorporated in a bubble, most of the times we just see the people who our children are playing around, and we believe that that is the actual number of people who are participating. And so we don't look at the numbers. And so, what I wanted to do on the eve of Super Bowl 56 in the wonderful city of Inglewood, California. Two teams will take the field tomorrow, and only one team will come out a champion. And out of that championship team and out of that losing team, a lot of players' destinies and careers and legacies in football will be defined. And so, what I want to do is, I want to just talk to all of the young people, aspiring athletes out there who have dreams of playing in the NFL. Because what I hope to do as soon as I get these pictures from last week's event, I want to show you all how many, and I'm going to post how many of the people in the audience stood up when I asked that question. And I also didn't just ask the question of the students, I asked the question of the parents also. I asked how many had aspirations of ever becoming a professional athlete, or to the young people, how many of you have aspirations of becoming a professional athlete? And when you see the picture, I'm not going to tell you, but when you see the picture, you're going to see how astonishing those numbers really were. So, what I want to do to you today, I want to talk to you about what I spoke to them about in detail. I spoke to them about one quote that I always use, and it's a title of one of my books, and it's titled "Numbers Don't Lie, but People Do." And so, some of you might have saw the post I put up of my new promotional video that talks about celebrating your health as your wealth. And when we talk about celebrating your health as your wealth, we're talking about the 9 developmental phases of your journey on this planet. And there's 9. And so, as a certified and degreed individual in the field of cognitive development wellness, I just want to let people know that this is something that I take very, very seriously. And it's something that I try to share with individuals, especially those who have aspirations of playing at the professional level in any sport that they choose to be in. But I have to let them know the truth. Because again, like I said, numbers don't lie, people do. And so people will use some of those individuals to expand their own dreams because they know people are vulnerable and they know people really want to make it to those levels. So one of the things I want to do is I want to share numbers with you all. And so if you have children out there, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, neighbors, anybody who you're coaching, who you are on your travel team, you need to be honest with them, because we're going to show you in these numbers how many individuals we lose each year in the sport of pursuing a professional athletic dream. But I want to share with you first and foremost from this video is that anything that you desire, anything that you can dream up, can be achieved. You just have to understand what it looks like. You have to understand the obstacles that are going to be in your way. And you have to understand that dreams come to those who sleep, but reality comes to those who awake and pursue it with vigor, passion, commitment, dedication, and most importantly, favor. And once you understand those 4 components, you'll understand how this journey can definitely be uh, fulfilled. So let me talk about this. In the years that I've been doing this work, I just put the numbers together and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. How many people I've had the opportunity to come across and to share the gifts that I've been given to enlighten or enhance their dreams. So since I've been doing this, there have been over, now these are not the numbers I work with, but I'm going to tell you how many people I could have worked with. Over the years that I've been doing this work, there have been over 60 million individuals who have come through just football, just football in the developmental stages. Over 60 million students have played or participated in developmental football. That's the years of starting five up until high school. How many high school players have come through the sports of football in the years that I've been doing this work? Over 30 million. How many have participated in college? 2,160,000. How many have participated in the professional ranks? 20,650. Those are the numbers of individuals who have come through since I've been doing this work, not the total amount of numbers. And I'm going to give you those numbers in a minute. Now, let me go back and share with you, because I just gave you the numbers. Let me share with you how many I have actually participated with. Not saying that I've had hands on, but hands on is also being able to deliver a speech, being able to deliver a workshop, being able to talk at a camp, being able to give participate or in a seminar, being able to talk to individuals on a much larger level. So at the developmental league level, out of the 60 million I may have spoken to in my years of service, maybe 100,000 student athletes, maybe 100,000. That's about the calculations that I put together. Now, some people may say that's a lot, but 100,000 versus 60 million, that's a very small uh, that's a very small number that I've had the influence on in my career. Now, let's talk about the 30 million individuals in the high school level that I've had an opportunity to be in front of. I would say I've worked with about 25,000. You see how the numbers start to drop. Now, let's talk about the college level. There's been about 2 million college players that have come through college since I've been doing this work. I may have worked with about 4,000. And of the 26,000 who have made it into the league, and that's the only number, that's the number right there that is so astonishing. Only 26,000 players have ever been able to say and will be able to say that I've made it to the NFL. Out of that 26,000, I may have worked with 200. 200. So you see how the numbers drop. It goes from 200 to 4,000 to 25,000 to 100,000. And those may again seem like big numbers, but they're really not. But let's talk about the biggest event of the year for sports. It's the Super Bowl. It's going to take place tomorrow, like I said, in Inglewood, California. And we think that it's so amazing. But the only thing that's going to happen tomorrow is out of all the players who've played this year, only 92 players will dress tomorrow. 92. That's 53 players who are on the team, but only 46 can dress tomorrow for the Super Bowl. And out of those 46, they will have 4 hours to establish their legacy. They will have 4 hours to establish who they are in the realm of football. And so if we look at this, we got to realize that the water shrinks so dramatically as you move through this dream of playing at the professional level. And this is just, we're just talking about football, right? Now, like I said, the Super Bowl is the most watched event in sports in America. And there's people from all over the country, all over the world, who have flown into LA to be a part of the festivities, who have flown into Vegas to make bets on the Super Bowl, who have flown into places just to be a part of the hoopla, the shenanigans, whatever you want to call it, of football. And they're only going to get an opportunity for 4 hours to see the best two teams at this particular moment in the game play for the championship. Now we talked earlier about this journey. Out of the 26,000 players who have played in the NFL, only 300 have had the privilege of being enshrined in the Hall of Fame. So you have to understand that it's not out of your reach. It's not out of your dream. It can be accomplished, but you're going to have to understand there's going to be some commitment to this journey. You're going to have to find the right people to put in your camp. You're going to have to be very diligent in the things that you do going forward. You can't think that you're the best if you haven't been tested by the best. And so, as I end this conversation, I just want to let you know, what do we have in place for the numbers that will be developed that we lost. I don't want to say we lost them, but those numbers who have uh, dissipated in the different levels as we go through the NFL. How have we developed, or what do we have in place in our programming that we're using right now to develop those individuals into valuable, viable, and valued citizens? What have we done? What are we doing? This may be the time for you to really think about, if you're running a program, if you're a high school coach, if you're a developmental coach, if you're a person who's aspiring to work with athletes such as myself. What are we doing to develop those individuals who may not have the ability or the talent or the work ethic or the commitment or the dedication or the favor to get to the next level, to get to the top level? What are we doing with them? Because in reality, they're still going to live in society. So if we don't develop them to be valuable, viable, and valued citizens, then they will also be a burden on us. So as I move through this and end this conversation, I just want to say, next week, from Dream Airlines. That's what I'm calling this conversation, Dream Airlines, because everybody who has this aspirations, it's a dream. It's a dream. And so from Dream Airlines, we'll be in the great city of Cleveland, Ohio. And what we'll be doing is, for all you aspiring NBA players, we'll be talking to you. We'll be talking to you about the numbers also. So until we get to the wonderful city of Cleveland, Ohio next week for the NBA All Star game, I hope you enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow. I hope for all of you who haven't been respectful in your relationships the entire year, I hope that Monday is an incredible day for you, and that you can regain your position in your significant other's life, and probably start from that day to evaluate and to appreciate that person, and to make sure that every day for them is a Valentine's Day. But until we talk again, from the Dream Airlines, this is your captain. I'm out. You all have an amazing day. Hope your Super Bowl team wins tomorrow.